It's in our nature to push the limits of what is possible. Our curiosity and sheer will drives us to reach greater accomplishments than our ancestors thought was humanly possible. Our intrinsic desire to push the envelope and reach these new heights is what makes world record attempts so engaging and appealing. As we're about to see though, not all of these attempts are necessarily pushing the boundaries of what humanity is capable of. Here are 11 of the weirdest world records ever attempted. Number 11. Li Longlong from Henan, China has the world record for most consecutive stairs climbed with your head. While admittedly pretty impressive, this one still qualifies as one of the weirdest world records in my book. In front of a rather large studio audience, Li attempts to break the current record of 34 stairs. The crowd watches anxiously as he slowly but surely ascends the stairway. It takes incredible concentration and balance to not topple over after every hop. As he inches closer to the world record, the host prompts the crowd to begin chanting his name for encouragement. Though if I were in his position, I'm not sure if that would exactly help me focus. Eventually, he reaches the record-breaking step and surpasses the record by going even further beyond. He set a new world record of 36 consecutive steps. The crowd goes wild after the announcement, and to add to the weirdness, a pony-drawn chariot comes bursting out of nowhere to give Li a victory lap around the stage. Like most of the records on this list, I never knew that this was one that was up for contention, but I feel it's definitely impressive enough to carry some merit. Number 10. Next up, we have Alexa Laurenberger from Gogol's, Germany, with her recent world record for the longest dog conga line. To complete this record, every dog in the line has to keep their paws on the back of the dog in front of them, and then move forward a total of 5 meters. As someone who finds it impressive when a dog knows more tricks than just sitting down, and this one sort of blows my mind. Alexa is only 12 years old and already had an amazing bond with all 8 of her dogs. By barking out commands, Alexa gets every one of her dogs to line up in the correct order and maintain their standing positions. After everyone is set, she begins marching them forward slowly, reminding them to continue forward without breaking formation. She makes it look easy as the dogs surpass the required 5-meter threshold, and she celebrates with them all. Alexa and her father, Wolfgang, both own several records related to dog training, including the fastest time to jump 5 hurdles on their hind legs, the fastest 10-meter sprint on hind legs, and most spins by a dog in 30 seconds, and more. Number 9. Aaron's Inc., an electronics and appliance company in the US, broke the world record for the largest human mattress dominoes, with 1,200 participants being knocked over in one go back in 2016. The attempt took place at their annual managers meeting in Maryland. Over the course of 13.5 minutes, people toppled backwards, smacking each other and creating a chain reaction. You'll notice that, although a few people get smacked in the face, most are just getting knocked over by their knees or even their shins. At the end of it all, they were able to celebrate their victory and revel in their accomplishment of one of the weirdest records out there. Later that same year, Chinese betting conglomerates attempted to break the record by doing the same thing, but with 2,016 people. In this attempt, however, far more people appear to be getting smacked directly in the face, which I can respect. If you have some spare time or just have good taste in entertainment, the entire event is recorded in 4K at high speed. The link will be in the description. Number 8. 20-year-old Curable Yima from Ethiopia grabbed the world record for the longest amount of time continuously spraying water from the mouth. A medical student, Curable stated that he used his studies to develop a unique method to control his muscles, making it easier for him to accomplish this feat. He begins by tossing back multiple bottles of water, making sure there's a large enough pool to spit back out to break the record. He counts down and his spit take begins. As water begins streaming out, the crowd's reaction changes from curiosity to amazement, with several people giving looks that say, "Are you seeing this right now?" Going way past what you thought would expect is humanly possible for something like this, Curable presses on, continuing to roleplay as a water fountain. After an astonishing 56.36 seconds, his stream comes to an end, and he smashes the previous record of 46.86 seconds. Number 7. There's an entire video on this channel dedicated to videos that give me anxiety, but this next one slots into that category perfectly. Karamjit and Kawajit Singh of India attempt to set the world record for the most coconuts smashed around a person while blindfolded in 1 minute. Many of the records on this list make me question why they're a thing at all, but this one just seems cruel. After setting the stage and surrounding one of the men with coconuts, a powdered substance is caked over the other's eyes before being tied in by a blindfold, ensuring that they're completely blind during the attempt. After checking that both are ready to go, the clock begins and the sledgehammer begins swinging immediately. Carefully but quickly making his way around the outstretched limbs, he seems to occasionally nick some body parts, leading to terrifying moments for those watching. Despite this, he never appears to make impactful contact at any point, thankfully. After the heart-pumping performance is over, the two are awarded the world record, having successfully smashed 35 coconuts in a minute. Of all the records that I'm going to avoid attempting, and this one is close to the top of the list. Number 6. Myuuji Lee of South Korea appeared on Chinese television to attempt an incredibly random but equally impressive record. Most paper aircraft thrown into watermelons in 1 minute. The countdown begins and after an initial miss, he starts impaling the melons with incredible accuracy and momentous force. This record shattered what I previously thought was possible, and honestly, my entire concept of reality has crumbled. The host's reactions mimic my own, as Myuuji leans into each of his throws with everything he has, turning these seemingly harmless paper airplanes into deadly weapons of mass destruction. After all was said and done, Myuuji achieved a total of 12 airplanes stuck in watermelons, and rightfully claimed the world record. He single-handedly avenged every kid that ever got in trouble for making or throwing paper airplanes in class, and for that, I salute him. Number 5. Multiple world record holder Ashrita Furman goes for his most audacious record yet, by attempting to break the most eggs in cups blown upside down in a single minute. Despite being thoroughly confused about why this record exists, I can't deny that it's pretty entertaining watching him speedrun through the eggs like his life depends on it. With incredible accuracy and the right amount of force to propel the eggs around without cracking them, he makes his way down the line, taking it 1 egg at a time. The satisfying clink after every rotated egg adds to the incredible and mesmerizing experience. After all is said and done, he inspects the eggs for any cracks. 1 egg was cracked, but that still leaves him with a grand total of 67 eggs flipped in a minute. A truly momentous achievement, and after watching this, I'm genuinely proud to be an American. Number 4. Australian circus and sideshow entertainer Zoe Ellis appeared on the Guinness World Records Italian show to attempt to break her own record for most fan blades stopped with a tongue in a single minute. In order to complete this record, the fans must be set to the highest setting and stopped completely with the tongue before moving on to the next attempt. The show reminds everyone watching that this is attempted by a true professional, and to not emulate this at home, in case you felt like that this was a good idea. The countdown begins, and while dual-wielding her fans, Zoe starts jamming her tongue into the high-speed blades, which is a sensation that I'm hoping to never experience. Equally as entertaining as the attempt are the looks of confusion from the crowd and even the host, perfectly encapsulating my own feelings while seeing this record. After her performance concluded, she was informed that she had smashed her previous record of 20 blades in a minute, with a new grand total of 32 blades in 60 seconds. There may be a record out there for all of us after all. Number 3. Another multi-record breaker, Abhinaba Terminang of the Netherlands, attempts to break the record for the most alternate one-handed claps in a single minute. He decided to attempt to break the record in a secluded forest in Portugal for seemingly no reason, and stared blankly into the camera during the entire attempt, adding on top of the already weird world record. With an unchanging expression and sheer will, he powers through 60 seconds of voracious hand flailing. Some unfortunate soul had the job of counting the exact number of claps this man just grinded out, and landed at the grand total of 615 claps in a single minute, which is actually insanely impressive when you think about it. He made it look easy. All I know is that if I'm taking a random stroll through the Portugal wilderness, and I saw this beast of a man blankly staring at me while clapping his own hands, I would be convinced that I'd found myself in the middle of a creepypasta. Number 2. A mixture of individuals from Heathrow Airport, British Airways, and Aerobility teamed up to break the record for heaviest aircraft pulled by a team of wheelchair users. To complete this record, the team must drag the aircraft a total of 100 meters using their own collective power. The group attempted the record with a British Airways Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, which weighs a total of 127.6 tons, or 281,309 pounds. The previous record was only 67 tons. The record was done to support Aerobility, a charity which helps disabled individuals who wish to learn how to fly achieve their dreams. A horn is sounded, and the team begins pushing forward with all of their might. Together, all 98 individuals are able to inch forward the absolutely enormous aircraft. Over the course of the next several minutes, they continue powering on, slowly but surely reaching their destination. Eventually, the team crosses the 100-meter mark, and they blow the prior record out of the water. While this is definitely one of the strangest world records I've seen, the charity that they were promoting, Aerobility, does amazing work, and I've got nothing but respect for the idea and seeing it through to the end. Number 1. Yang Yongqing of China attempts another record that requires an entire mouthful to rattle off, with the most napkins snatched from a table with a yo-yo in 1 minute. While definitely weird, and admittedly sort of ridiculous, the actual record attempt is quite entertaining to watch, as he snatches the napkins out from underneath glasses of red wine without knocking them over, and often without spilling a drop. The attempt speaks for itself, as Yang blasts through the line of glasses with amazing accuracy and great speed. After his attempt is concluded, John Higbee of the USA attempts to do the same. While he has some impressive moments, he falters a bit, and ends up knocking some of the glasses over. In the end, John had successfully snatched 8 napkins, while Yang had 12. Enough to snatch the world record as well. Similar to our first video, a horse-drawn carriage emerges from seemingly nowhere and carries our contestants on a victory lap around the arena. While being a world record holder sounds, and generally is, incredibly impressive, not all records are created equal. Some are more so created for fun than with any intent of being serious challenges, and that's alright in my book. Which of these world records did you find to be the weirdest? And do you have any strange talents that you think could land you in the record books? Give it a shot, and make sure that we keep receiving more examples of the weirdest world records.